Yo, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? How are we? Yes, it's the London session. We missed out on the Open, but I'm kind of glad I didn't do the London Open session because price action was a little bit treacherous at the beginning of the session itself. But I think now's a good time to actually get talking about what to expect with London. But more importantly, what happened last night? Interesting price action by Bitcoin in the Asian session from last night. What did we say? Always wait for the Hong Kong and Tokyo Open because that's when we will know where we stand. Look at what had happened. This is on the 5-minute time frame. Let me roll over to the 1-hour time frame just so we can put things into perspective in understanding what to expect moving forward. So here we go. Let me just zoom out. Look, last night, Bitcoin from the Tokyo Open, this was Sydney, okay? They came down and they came straight into that range, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking about this last night in the stream. Let me bring that up for you. Here it is. In this stream from last night, we were talking about the idea whether or not if this was a trap. Okay, and it sort of played out into being a trap as they came and brought price into this area. Now, what's important about this area is this. If you look on the actual chart itself, we have the psychological low and look at how close they brought price back to it. Interesting, yeah? Now, this was the projected zone. How low it was going to go, we wouldn't have known. But we know that at some point they were going to try and bring price into that range if the narrative fit with them building positions lower at the highest possible point so that they can move price away from that range. It happened. Look at the big stopping volume candle. Came down, spiked, recovered, and previously took this area here. Look, disgusting, isn't it? Big wick to the left. Big wick right here. To the right left side of the chart, they recovered the blue vector candle. Then the next candle comes in and then of course takes some of the liquidity in this zone for them to only pull it back. Now Bitcoin is at a critical point. Why? Because this is where the development of the pattern could come into play. We've got the rise, we've got the retrace. Now we are waiting to determine the continuation. Will Bitcoin bounce from this point? And this is where the move itself is going to be verified either in UK session or it's going to happen in the New York session. This is what we're trying to make sense of. Bitcoin now is flat. Moving averages flat. There's no volatility in the charts. We're waiting for something. Okay? Now, all we need to be aware of is where can Bitcoin go for us to understand that it's going to continue its move to the upside. The first point of interest in the chart, ladies and gentlemen, will be the daily open. That's where we need to see price trading at, okay? If price can break above the daily open and initiate this rise, little retrace continuation, then we will be going into the previous pools of liquidity that are set in this area here, which then takes me towards the 15-minute time frame. Zoom out. What do we have? We can see the big wick up here in the US Brink session. In other words, has the US session itself been by nature designed to send price down lower, Sydney, Hong Kong and Tokyo to do the same thing for the UK and the US session today to follow through and move higher? That is what we're waiting to see, if the basis of this move is going to hold. Now, of course, we are trading in the psychological ranges, so they're still building positions. We already know at the start of the week that they come in below the psychological ranges and they shifted away from them. You can see that we've got ourselves the point of control right here for the previous session. Okay, so actually let me just get rid of this one here because it's not factoring everything else. But the best way for you to understand points of control, in my opinion, is if you take consolidation points. All right. So even if I were to just draw this point right here from this rise, from this low right here, all the way up to this high. OK, we understand that the point of control is where price is consolidating at. Take the next one. Point of control right there. OK, wherever you see consolidation, that's where most of the volume is usually transacting. And when they come away from that point, that's when you see it going into the other peaks of the volume profile itself. All right, I'll be diving into this a little bit more later on for you guys, but I'll talk about it and make reference to it in the streams as well. Okay, now listen, right now, all we need to be aware of is what Bitcoin's going to do at this point. Two things. If Bitcoin breaks down, and you can see it's rejected the point of control for this range right here. Came to it, bounced away. Came below it, came back up above it. Came strongly below it, tried to make its way back up above it, and it's found a little bit of weakness. Holding now at the 200 EMA. So we've got confluence stacking. 200 EMA's flat, 50 EMA's pretty much flat. The point of control is waiting to be tested yet again. Daily open in sight. Psychological low has been tested. All right? If the momentum is present and it's going to trigger the same interest from this area here, Bitcoin will move higher. If it fails to do so, now what we need to be aware of is this. The moving average on the 15-minute time frame is right here, 50 EMA, and it's below, price is below it. What you're looking for is you're looking for price to be away from it and the 50 EMA to be quite away from the actual price itself. In other words, look at this. When you see this move to the downside, you want there to be a gap in between the moving average and price. Why? Because that's where you'll understand the reversion to the mean, because that's what the algorithms do. They revert back to the norm. Okay? Now, with current price action, we're not seeing that because price is at the 50 EMA now. Look, deviation away from the 50, back into the moving average. So we need to try and wait to see volatility coming into the chart, because if we don't see it, then we're just going to get this flat price action. Price isn't going to go anywhere, and then we're just going to see a surprise move in one direction against the other, and then people are going to be compelled to take in those trades, and then price will reverse and do the opposite. That's the nature of trading, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So, be patient. It's a key turning point. On the 1 hour time frame, you can see bright as day that Bitcoin is trying to hold at the 50 EMA. Now, this is for my day traders. Okay? If we're going to look at the higher time frame for my holders, right now, Bitcoin is doing a great job of holding in and around the 5 and the 13 EMA. This is where we establish momentum in the higher time frames. It hasn't even tested the 50 EMA on the 4 hour time frame. It already did that over here. So the basis of this play right here is going to be and reside on price holding the 13 EMA, which is the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. Okay? So be patient, ladies and gentlemen. Volatility may come into the chart. All right? Because the moving averages are flat, there's no movement. So wait. The moment we get some volatility to the upside, if Bitcoin can go back up above the daily open and break higher, wait for the retrace, because you don't want to get caught out in a move like this for it to only do this straight after. Yeah? Awesome. Be sure to get with us today in the live for the New York session, 2 p.m. GMT UK time. All right? So that's in what? Less than 3 hours time, 2 hours time, sorry, because I'll be going on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Sorry, I got my times wrong yet again. Please put in the comments if you've noticed any boomer moments, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great way for me to get some feedback into how I present these videos. Okay? 1 p.m. GMT. I've done it wrong, and I even updated it on the community post. Man, it's all going wrong, isn't it? Oh my days. I need to change that. 1 p.m. GMT, ladies and gentlemen. 1 p.m. GMT UK time is the start of the New York session. I need to get that changed. Listen, mad love and respect to you beautiful people. If you are new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch up with you all later on. Take care of yourselves. Peace.